Dr. Hana pressed her hand against the cold metal wall of the research ship and felt the gentle vibration that meant all systems were running smoothly. The Twilight's Edge had been her home for 3 years now, floating through space while she and her team studied the strange signals coming from a small blue planet in a distant star system. The planet was called Earth, according to the basic radio transmissions they had picked up. The signals were crude but showed clear signs of intelligence. Music, voices, numbers, and patterns that could only come from thinking beings. Hana had convinced the Galactic Research Council to send a small fleet to make contact. It would be her first time meeting a new species. "Dr. Hana, you need to see this." The voice belonged to Tay, her chief engineer. He sounded worried, which was unusual. Tay was normally calm about everything. Hana walked quickly to the main sensor room. Tay stood in front of a huge screen covered with numbers and symbols that glowed bright red. Red meant danger or something unusual. She had never seen so much red on a sensor screen. "What am I looking at?" she asked. Tay pointed to the center of the screen. "Something is coming toward us from the direction of Earth. It started showing up on our long-range sensors about an hour ago." Hana studied the numbers. Ships in space usually moved at predictable speeds using known types of engines. The readings she was seeing made no sense. "These numbers are wrong. Check the sensors." "Again." "I already checked them 5 times, Tay said. "The sensors are working perfectly. Whatever is coming toward us is massive and moving faster than anything we have ever recorded." Captain June entered the sensor room. He was a tall, thin alien, with blue skin and large black eyes. Like all members of his species, he spoke in a calm, measured voice that rarely showed emotion. But today, Hana could hear concern in his tone. "Report," Captain June said. Tay pulled up a new display. "Long-range sensors show a single object approaching from the Earth system. Distance is approximately 12 light hours and closing. Current. Speed suggests arrival in less than 6 days. How large is it?" Captain June asked. "That's the problem, sir. According to our sensors, it's enormous. At least 15 kilometers long, possibly longer. The energy signature suggests massive power systems unlike anything in our database." Hana felt her heart beat faster. The largest ships in the galactic fleet were barely 3 kilometers long. A 15-kilometer ship was beyond anything they had ever seen or imagined possible. "Could it be multiple ships flying close together?" she asked. Tay shook his head. "The energy signature is unified. It's definitely one vessel." Captain June was quiet for a long moment. "Send a message to the fleet. All ships are to maintain current positions but prepare for immediate departure if necessary. I want constant sensor sweeps and updates every hour." The research fleet consisted of 5 ships. Besides the Twilight's Edge, there were 3 other research vessels and 1 small military escort. They had expected to meet a primitive civilization that had just discovered radio. They had not prepared for this. Over the next few hours, the sensor readings became even more disturbing. The approaching ship showed no signs of slowing down. Its energy output continued to increase as it got closer. Hana spent the time reviewing everything they knew about Earth and its inhabitants. The humans, as they called themselves, appeared to be a young species. Their radio signals had only been detectable for about 100 years. Most of their transmissions were simple entertainment and communication. Nothing suggested they had advanced space travel or powerful weapons. "Dr. Hana," Tay called from across the room. "The ship is changing course slightly. It's heading directly for our position." Hana felt cold fear run down her spine. "Are you certain?" "Absolutely. Whatever it is, it knows we're here and it's coming to find us." She walked over to the communication station and opened a channel to the other ships in the fleet. "This is Dr. Hana aboard Twilight's Edge. I need to speak with all senior staff immediately." Within minutes, the main screen showed the faces of captains and chief scientists from the other 4 ships. Commander Wu from the flagship Harmony's call spoke first. "Dr. Hana, we're all seeing the same sensor readings. What is your assessment?" Hana chose her words carefully. Based on the energy signatures and size estimates, we are dealing with technology far beyond what we expected from Earth. The ship approaching us represents a level of advancement that doesn't match any of the signals we've been monitoring. Could there be another species in the Earth system? Asked Captain June. It's possible, but the ship's trajectory originates directly from Earth orbit. I believe this vessel was built by humans. The faces on the screen showed various expressions of concern and disbelief. Commander Wu leaned forward. Dr. Hana, are you suggesting that a species we thought was primitive has built a ship larger than our entire fleet combined? That appears to be the case, sir. How is that possible? Hana had been asking herself the same question. I don't know. Perhaps they developed their technology much faster than their radio signals suggested. Or perhaps they deliberately kept their advanced capabilities hidden? Sensor Officer Myra from the Harmony's call spoke up. Commander, I'm reading weapon signatures from the approaching vessel. The ship appears to be heavily armed. The silence that followed was uncomfortable. First contact situations were supposed to be peaceful meetings between curious species wanting to learn about each other. This felt more like a military encounter. Recommendations? Commander Wu asked. Captain June was the first to speak. We should maintain our position and attempt peaceful contact. Running away might be seen as hostile, but if they are hostile, our ships are not equipped for combat against something that size, said another captain. Hannah looked at the sensor readings again. The human ship would arrive in less than 5 days. I suggest we prepare a standard first contact package. Mathematical sequences, cultural information, peaceful intentions. If they are hostile, running won't help us anyway. That ship is faster than anything we have. Commander Wu nodded slowly. Agreed. All ships will remain in position. Prepare. First contact protocols. Dr. Hana, I want you to lead the communication team. The meeting ended, but Hannah remained in the sensor room watching the approaching ship. Every hour, the readings became more impressive and more frightening. The humans had built something that challenged everything the galaxy thought it knew about space travel and engineering. Tay joined her at the sensor station. Dr. Hana, I've been running calculations on the ship's power output. The energy levels we're detecting should not be possible with any known technology. What do you mean? I mean that ship is generating enough power to supply our entire home planet for a year, all contained in a single vessel. Either humans have made scientific breakthroughs we can't imagine, or we're about to meet something very dangerous. Hannah stared at the red numbers on the screen. In just a few days, they would learn which possibility was correct. She hoped they would live long enough to report their findings back to the Galactic Council. The unknown human ship continued its steady approach through the darkness of space, carrying secrets and capabilities that would change everything the galaxy thought it knew about the species called humanity. Commander Wu stood on the bridge of the flagship Harmony's call and watched the main display screen with growing unease. 3 days had passed since they first detected the human ship, and it now filled a significant portion of their long-range sensors. The closer it came, the more impossible it seemed. Sensor Officer Myra, give me another reading on the approaching vessel. He ordered. Myra worked at her station for several moments before responding. Sir, the ship is now 8 light hours away. Length confirmed at 15.7 kilometers. Width approximately 4 kilometers. Height 3.2 kilometers. Mass estimates are ... problematic. Explain. The ship appears to be solid metal construction, but if that's true, it should collapse under its own weight. No known materials can maintain structural integrity at that size without significant internal support frameworks. Yet our scans show mostly solid construction. Commander Wu felt a headache beginning behind his eyes. Every report about the human ship contradicted established science and engineering principles. What about the energy readings? Still climbing, sir. Current output is equivalent to our entire fleet operating at maximum capacity. And we're detecting multiple types of energy signatures that don't match anything in our database. Unknown. Energy types? Yes, sir. At least 3 distinct signatures that our computers cannot identify or classify. The bridge fell silent except for the quiet hum of ship systems. Commander Wu had served in the Galactic Fleet for 20 years and had participated in first contact with 6 different species. None of those encounters had prepared him for this. Communications, have we received any response to our greeting transmissions? Communications Officer Dao shook his head. No response to any of our signals, sir. We've broadcast standard mathematical sequences, prime numbers, and peaceful intention codes on all known frequencies. The human ship acknowledges our transmissions, but does not respond. They're listening, but not talking. That appears to be correct, sir. Commander Wu considered their options. The human ship would arrive at their position in less than 3 days. They could retreat, but as Dr. Hana had pointed out, the human vessel was much faster than their ships. They could try to hide, but space offered few hiding places. Or they could stay and hope the humans were peaceful. Sir, Myra called out, the human ship is changing course again. Show me. The main screen displayed a tactical view of local space. Their small fleet appeared as blue dots clustered together. The human ship was a large red triangle moving steadily toward them. As they watched, the triangle shifted slightly. The ship is moving to intercept our exact position, Myra reported. Course correction suggests they have very precise navigation systems. Commander Wu studied the display. How precise? Sir, they're aiming for a position exactly 1,000 kilometers from our fleet center. That level of accuracy from this distance requires navigation technology far beyond anything we possess. Dr. Hana's voice came through the communication system from the Twilight's edge. Commander Wu, are you seeing the course correction? Yes, Dr. Hana. What are your thoughts? They're sending a message. The humans know exactly where we are and exactly where they want to be. That kind of precision isn't necessary for simple approach. It's a demonstration. A demonstration of what? Their capabilities. They want us to know they can put their ship exactly where they want it when they want it there. The implications were disturbing. If the humans could navigate with such precision, their weapons would likely be equally accurate. Commander Wu began to understand that they might be dealing with a military force rather than explorers. All ships, this is Commander Wu, maintain current positions but keep engines warm for immediate departure. I want damage control teams ready and all defensive systems online. Over the next several hours, the human ship continued its approach. The closer it came, the more details their sensors could detect. What they found was both impressive and terrifying. Commander, Myra said, I'm getting clearer readings on the ship's construction. The hull appears to be some kind of layered armor system. Multiple materials I can't identify. The surface is covered with what look like weapon emplacements. How many weapons? Sir, I count at least 200 distinct weapon signatures, possibly more. The ship appears to be designed primarily for combat. Commander Wu felt his heart sink. The humans had not sent an exploration vessel or a diplomatic ship. They had sent a warship. A massive, heavily armed warship with capabilities beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. Communications? Try broadcasting on human radio frequencies. Use their own transmission methods. Dahl worked at his station for several minutes. Sir, I've prepared a message using human radio protocols. Broadcasting now on multiple frequencies. The humans have been observed using. They waited. The bridge was quiet except for the soft beeping of various monitors. After 30 minutes, there was still no response. Sir, Myra said suddenly, the human ship is slowing down. Slowing down? Yes, sir, velocity is decreasing rapidly. At current deceleration rates, they will come to a complete stop at exactly 1,000 kilometers from our position. Commander Wu watched the tactical display as the red triangle representing. The human ship gradually slowed. The precision was perfect. The humans would arrive exactly where they had planned, exactly when they had planned. How long until they reach full stop? 18 hours, sir. 18 hours to prepare for first contact with a species that had just demonstrated technological superiority in every area they could measure. Commander Wu opened a fleet-wide communication channel. All ships, this is Commander Wu. The human vessel will reach our position in 18 hours. They have shown no hostile actions, but their ship is clearly designed for warfare. All personnel will remain at their stations. Science teams will continue monitoring and recording everything. If the humans prove hostile, we will not be able to fight them, but we can ensure our findings reach the Galactic Council. He closed the channel and turned back to the main display. The human ship was now close enough that they could see it with their own eyes through the bridge viewports. It was a dark shape against the stars, angular and purposeful. Even at a distance, it looked dangerous. "Sir," Communications Officer Dahl said, "I'm receiving a transmission from Dr. Hana." "Put her through." Dr. Hana's face appeared on a smaller screen. "Commander, I've been analyzing the energy signatures from the human ship. I have a theory about what we're seeing. Go ahead." "I believe the humans developed their technology in response to a perceived threat. Everything about that ship suggests a species that prepared for war. The question is, war against whom?" Commander Wu considered her words. "Are you suggesting they built that ship to fight us? Not specifically us, but someone. The humans appear to have spent considerable time and resources preparing for hostile contact. They may see us as potential enemies rather than peaceful explorers." The implications were sobering. If the humans viewed all alien contact as potentially hostile, first contact could become very dangerous very quickly. "Dr. Hana, prepare your cultural analysis team. When the humans arrive, we need to convince them quickly that we come in peace. Our lives may depend on how well we communicate our intentions." "Understood, Commander." The human ship continued its steady approach through the darkness of space, bringing with it questions and capabilities that would test everything the galactic community thought it knew about peaceful exploration and first contact protocols. Admiral Kai stood in the observation deck of the Eternal Vigilance and looked out at the stars through the massive reinforced windows. Somewhere ahead of them, alien ships waited. After 50 years of preparation, humanity was finally going to meet other intelligent life. The journey to this moment had been long and difficult. When Earth's deep space monitoring stations first detected organized radio signals from the Kepler 442 system, the world had celebrated for exactly 1 day. Then the fear began. The signals showed clear signs of multiple species working together. Advanced mathematics, complex communication protocols, and evidence of a galactic civilization far older and more developed than humanity, Earth's leaders, faced a terrible question. Were these aliens peaceful explorers or potential conquerors? Humanity decided not to take chances. "Admiral," Chief Navigator Hyan called from the bridge, "we're approaching the target coordinates. The alien fleet is exactly where our long-range sensors indicated." Admiral Kai walked from the observation deck to the main bridge. The Eternal Vigilance was the largest ship humanity had ever built, and its bridge reflected that scale. Dozens of officers worked at stations monitoring everything from weapon systems to diplomatic protocols. "Report on the alien fleet," Admiral Kai ordered. Captain Soong stepped forward with a datapad. "5 ships, sir. 4 appear to be research vessels. 1 is larger and possibly military but lightly armed. Total fleet mass is approximately 1/10 the mass of our ship." Admiral Kai nodded. The aliens had sent scientists, not soldiers. That was encouraging, but humanity had learned not to assume peaceful intentions based on appearances. "Have they attempted communication?" "Yes, sir," reported Communications Officer Lee. "Multiple attempts using various mathematical and symbolic languages. Standard first contact protocols according to our xenolinguistics database. They appear to be trying to establish peaceful dialogue." "Any signs of deception or hidden vessels?" "Negative, sir. Our sensors show exactly what they're broadcasting. No hidden ships, no masked weapon signatures, no deceptive signals." Admiral Kai reviewed the tactical display. The alien ships were arranged in a loose formation that suggested scientific curiosity rather than military preparation. Their positioning would be terrible for defense but excellent for observation and communication. "Weapon status?" he asked. "Oh, Systems online and ready, sir, but powered down to standby levels. We're not showing any active weapon signatures to the aliens. The Eternal Vigilance carried enough firepower to destroy planets. Its weapons had been designed for the worst case scenario, a hostile galactic civilization intent on Earth's destruction. But those weapons remained hidden and inactive. Humanity hoped they would never be needed. Sir, Navigation Officer Hyun called out, we're approaching the predetermined stopping position. 1,000 kilometers from the alien fleet. Reduce speed to full stop at exactly 1,000 kilometers. Show them our navigation capabilities, but don't get close enough to seem threatening. The massive ship began its deceleration sequence. Despite its enormous size, the Eternal Vigilance could stop and maneuver with precision that defied physics as most species understood it. Humanity's breakthroughs in engine technology had made such precision possible. Admiral, Captain Seung said quietly, the crew is ready for first contact protocols. All departments report prepared for either diplomatic engagement or immediate departure. Admiral Kai appreciated Captain Sung's careful wording. The crew was prepared for diplomacy, but they were also prepared for war. Every person aboard the ship understood their dual mission: make peaceful contact if possible, but protect Earth at all costs. Sir, Communications Officer Lee reported, we're receiving multiple signals from the alien fleet. They're using our own radio protocols now, trying to communicate in ways we would understand. That's a good sign. It shows they're studying our transmissions and trying to accommodate our technology. Yes, sir. The linguistic analysis suggests peaceful intentions and curiosity about human culture. Admiral Kai walked to the main viewing screen, which showed the alien fleet in the distance. 5 small ships clustered together, their lights blinking in what appeared to be greeting patterns. They looked harmless and genuinely interested in peaceful contact, but Admiral Kai had studied Earth's history. He knew that appearances could be deceiving and that even peaceful species could become dangerous when they felt threatened. The Eternal Vigilance had been built to ensure that humanity would never be the weaker party in any encounter. Prepare the standard first contact package, he ordered. Full cultural database, mathematical proofs, artistic samples, and peaceful intention declarations. But also prepare the demonstration protocols. Captain Sung raised an eyebrow. Sir, the demonstration? If these aliens are peaceful, they need to understand that we are not defenseless. If they're not peaceful, they need to understand that attacking us would be a mistake. Either way, they need to see what we're capable of. The demonstration protocols were controversial even among humanity's leadership. Some argued that showing off Earth's military capabilities would frighten potential allies. Others insisted that displaying strength was the only way to ensure respect and prevent future conflicts. Admiral Kai supported the demonstration. Better to reveal their capabilities now, under controlled circumstances, than to have them discovered during an actual conflict. Sir, Weapons Officer Park reported, the aliens are conducting detailed scans of our ship. Their sensors are quite sophisticated, though not as advanced as ours. What can they detect? They can see our size and general configuration. They're probably getting some energy readings, but our stealth systems are preventing them from understanding our true capabilities. The Eternal Vigilance had been designed with multiple levels of concealment. To casual observation, it appeared to be a large but conventional spacecraft. Only detailed analysis would reveal the true extent of its weapons and defensive systems. How long until we reach full stop? 30 minutes, sir. Admiral Kai used the time to review the first contact protocols one final time. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing languages, cultural exchange programs, and diplomatic procedures. But they had also spent those decades building the most powerful warship in known space. Sir, the communications officer, Lee announced, we're receiving a direct communication attempt from the alien flagship. They're requesting permission to establish formal diplomatic contact. Put it through, but don't respond yet. The main screen filled with the image of an alien figure. Tall, thin, with blue skin and large black eyes, The creature wore what appeared to be a military uniform, though it was decorated with symbols of peace and exploration rather than warfare. The alien spoke in careful, measured tones. Translation software converted the words into English. Greetings from the Galactic Research Council. I am Commander Wu of the starship, Harmony's Call. We come seeking peaceful contact and cultural exchange with the people of Earth. Please respond. If you receive this message, Admiral Kai studied the alien's face and posture. Everything about the message suggested genuine peaceful intentions. But humanity had not survived this long by trusting appearances. Open a channel, he ordered. It's time to introduce Earth to the galaxy. The moment had arrived. 50 years of preparation, decades of fear and hope, and the construction of the most powerful warship ever built had led to this single instant. Admiral Kai would speak the first words between humanity and alien civilization. He hoped those words would lead to friendship and cooperation. But if they led to conflict instead, humanity was ready for that too. The eternal vigilance hung in space like a promise and a warning, carrying both humanity's dreams of peace and their determination to survive among the stars. Dr. Hannah stood at the main communications station aboard the Twilight's Edge and carefully prepared the cultural exchange package. This was the moment she had dreamed about for years, the first peaceful contact between her people and a new species. The package contained centuries of art, music, mathematics, and philosophy from dozens of galactic civilizations. Transmitting now, she announced to the bridge crew. Full cultural database, mathematical sequences, and peace declarations broadcasting on all frequencies. The transmission would take several minutes to reach the human ship. Dr. Hannah had included everything she thought might interest a curious species: beautiful music from the crystal singers of Andromeda, complex mathematical proofs from the logic masters of Vega, and artistic masterpieces from 100 different worlds. Dr. Hannah, called Engineer Tay from his station. The human ship is receiving our transmission. Their communication systems are analyzing our data. Any response yet? Not yet, but they're definitely processing everything we sent. Their computers are working very hard on something. Dr. Hannah felt nervous excitement. The humans would see the beauty and wisdom of galactic civilization. They would understand that the galaxy was full of peaceful species working together for knowledge and mutual benefit. This would be the beginning of a wonderful friendship. Across the fleet, other ships were also preparing their own cultural offerings. The Harmony's Call transmitted historical records and diplomatic protocols. The research vessel Seeker's Dream sent scientific discoveries and technological innovations that might benefit human civilization. Still no response, reported communications. Officer Dahl from the flagship. But our sensors show increased activity aboard the human vessel. They're definitely studying our transmissions very carefully. Commander Wu watched the tactical display with growing concern. The human ship had been silent for over an hour while processing their cultural exchange. Such a long delay was unusual for first contact situations. Most species responded quickly, with their own cultural offerings. Myra, what are the human ship's energy readings? Elevated but stable, sir. They appear to be running extensive computer analysis on our transmissions. Much more detailed than typical first contact protocols would require, Dr. Hannah frowned. Why would the humans need such detailed analysis of simple cultural and mathematical information? Unless they were being extremely careful about potential threats or deception. That would suggest a very cautious, possibly paranoid species. Commander, Myra called out suddenly, the human ship is responding, but this is not what I expected. Explain, sir. They're not sending cultural information or peace declarations. They're conducting active scans of our entire fleet. The main display screen filled with data streams as the human ship's scanners swept across every vessel in the alien fleet. But these were not the polite, surface-level scans typically used in first contact situations. These were deep, penetrating examinations that probed every system, every defensive measure, every capability. How deep are these scans? Commander, Wu asked. Sir, they're reading our internal systems. Hull composition, weapon specifications, engine capabilities, crew quarters, computer networks, everything. These scans are more detailed than our own internal diagnostics. Dr. Hana felt cold fear creep up her spine. They're cataloging our weaknesses. What? Commander Wu turned to look at her. The humans aren't responding to our cultural exchange. They're studying us like potential enemies. Those scans are designed to identify every possible vulnerability in our ships. The implications hit everyone on the bridge at the same time. The humans had just demonstrated that they could completely analyze alien technology within minutes. More disturbing, they had chosen to do so instead of engaging in normal diplomatic protocols. Sir, Myra reported, her voice shaking slightly, the scans show capabilities we didn't know were possible. The humans have just learned more about our ships than some of our own engineers know. How is that possible? Their scanning technology operates on principles I don't recognize. They're using sensor methods that our science says shouldn't work, but they clearly do work extremely well. Commander Wu opened a fleet-wide communication channel. All ships, report your status immediately. The responses came quickly from all 5 vessels. Twilights. Edge reports all systems scanned and analyzed by the human vessel. Seeker's Dream confirms complete technological assessment by human scanners. Harmony's call sensors show detailed examination of all ship systems and capabilities. Explorer's Pride reports that human scans have penetrated our defensive systems and mapped our internal structure. Scientific Endeavor confirms that all our technological capabilities have been cataloged by the human ship. Commander Wu stared at the tactical display. In less than 10 minutes, the human ship had learned everything there was to know about their fleet. Every strength, every weakness, every system and subsystem had been identified and analyzed. Dr. Hana, he said quietly, what does this tell us about human intentions? Dr. Hana was studying the scanned data on her own screens. Commander, I believe, we have seriously underestimated this species. The humans didn't send explorers or diplomats. They sent military analysts. You think they're planning to attack us? I think they're preparing for every possibility. Those scans would allow them to disable our ships without causing permanent damage if they wanted to capture us. Or they could target our most vulnerable systems if they wanted to destroy us quickly. Engineer Tay looked up from his station. Dr. Hana, I've been analyzing their scanning methods. The technology required for this level of analysis would require computer systems far beyond anything we thought possible for such a young species. How far beyond? Our computers estimate that human technology is at least 200 years more advanced than ours in scanning and analysis systems. Possibly more. The bridge fell silent. A species they had thought was primitive had just demonstrated technological superiority in a critical area. If their scanning technology was 2 centuries ahead, what about their weapons, their defenses, their other capabilities? Sir, Communications Officer Dahl reported, the human ship is sending a response to our cultural exchange. Finally. Put it through. The main screen activated, but instead of showing alien art or music, it displayed a simple text message in perfect galactic standard language. We have received and analyzed your cultural transmission. We appreciate your peaceful intentions and your desire for knowledge exchange. However, first contact protocols require security verification before cultural exchange can proceed. We have completed our assessment of your fleet capabilities. Please stand by for our response. Dr. Hana read the message twice before understanding its full meaning. They're telling us they needed to scan our ships for security purposes before they could trust us. And now that they've completed their security verification, now they know everything about us, and we know almost nothing about them except that their technology is far more advanced than we realized. Commander Wu studied the human ship through the bridge viewports. It hung in space like a dark mountain, massive and mysterious. They had come here thinking they were the advanced civilization making contact with a primitive species. Instead, they had encountered something that could analyze their technology faster than they could analyze it themselves. All ships maintain current positions and continue monitoring. Do not take any actions that could be interpreted as hostile. We are clearly dealing with a species that is far more capable than we anticipated. The human ship remained silent, its massive bulk outlined against the stars. Whatever response they were preparing, it would come when they were ready and not before. The aliens could only wait and hope that their peaceful intentions would be accepted by a species that had just demonstrated they could know everything about alien technology within minutes of first contact. The cultural exchange had become something entirely different, a demonstration of technological dominance that left no doubt about which species held the advantage in this historic meeting. Lieutenant Bio had been working for 18 straight hours, and his eyes burned from staring at computer screens. As the intelligence officer for the alien fleet, his job was to understand threats and assess capabilities. The human ship represented the greatest challenge of his career. Computer, display analysis summary of human vessel designated Eternal Vigilance, he commanded, the screen filled with data that made Bo's head hurt. After detailed study of the scan results, the computer had reached conclusions that seemed impossible but could not be disputed. Hull composition, unknown. Metallic compounds that appeared to be stronger than any material in the galactic database. The metal showed properties that suggested it could withstand direct impacts from asteroid-sized objects without significant damage, power systems, energy, generation methods that the computer could not identify or classify, output levels that exceeded the total power production of most planetary civilizations, propulsion, engine technology that seemed to violate several established laws of physics, but clearly worked extremely well. Computer, probability assessment. Could this vessel destroy our entire fleet? Analysis complete. Probability, 97.4%. Human vessel possesses sufficient firepower to eliminate all fleet vessels simultaneously. The O leaned back in his chair and tried to process what he was seeing. The humans had built something that could destroy their entire fleet without difficulty. Worse, they had built it using technology that galactic science said was impossible. Computer. Probability assessment. Could this vessel threaten a planetary civilization? Analysis complete. Probability, 99.1%. Human vessel possesses sufficient firepower to cause significant damage to planetary surfaces and orbital installations. Theo felt sick. The humans had not just built a large ship. They had built a weapon capable of threatening entire worlds. And they had done it while the galaxy thought they were a primitive species. Just learning to use radio. Engineer Tay's voice came through the communication system. Lieutenant Bio, are you seeing the detailed structural analysis? Yes, and I don't understand any of it. Neither do I. The humans appear to have solved engineering problems that our best scientists thought were unsolvable. That ship should collapse under its own weight, but somehow it doesn't. Bo pulled up the structural diagrams that Tay had prepared. The human ship was built using construction methods that challenged basic understanding of physics and engineering. Materials that should not exist supported structures that should not be possible. Tay, how long would it take our civilization to build something like this? If we started today and worked continuously, maybe 300 years. Assuming we could figure out how to make their materials and power systems work, which we probably couldn't. 300 years, Bo repeated. And the humans built this while we thought they were primitive. Lieutenant Bio, Dr. Hanna's voice joined the conversation. Have you completed the weapons analysis? Bio reluctantly pulled up the weapons data. This was the most disturbing part of his report. Dr. Hanna, the computer identifies at least 40 different weapon types aboard the human ship. Most use technologies we cannot understand. What kind of weapons? Energy beams that could cut through our hulls like paper. Projectile systems that could punch holes through planetary surfaces. Some kind of gravity manipulation weapons that could tear our ships apart at the molecular level. Gravity manipulation? Dr. Hanna sounded shocked. The computer is confident in its analysis. The humans appear to have weaponized gravitational forces. We don't even understand how gravity works completely, and they're using it as a weapon. Bo continued reading through the weapons analysis. Each system was more advanced and more deadly than the last. The humans had not just built a warship. They had built something that could fight wars on a galactic scale. Computer, compare human vessel capabilities to largest known galactic military ships. Analysis complete. Human vessel firepower exceeds largest known military vessels by factor of 47. Defensive capabilities exceed known standards by factor of 62. Overall combat effectiveness, unmeasurable due to technological gap. Bo stared at the numbers. The human ship was not just superior to anything the galaxy had built. It was so far beyond galactic technology that meaningful comparison was impossible. But Commander Wu's voice came through the communications system. Report to the bridge immediately. Bring your analysis. Bo gathered his data files and hurried to the bridge of the Harmony's call. Commander Wu stood at the main tactical station, studying the human ship through the viewports. Report, Lieutenant. Sir, the human vessel represents technology at least 2 centuries beyond anything in our database, possibly more. Explain the threat assessment. Bo activated the main display and showed his analysis. Sir, this ship could destroy our entire fleet in approximately 30 seconds. It could then proceed to attack our homeworlds and cause significant damage to planetary civilizations. The bridge crew was quiet as they absorbed this information. Finally, Commander Wu spoke. Lieutenant, in your opinion, why would the humans build such a vessel? Sir, I believe they built it for galactic warfare. This is not an exploration ship or a diplomatic vessel. It's designed to fight wars against multiple enemies simultaneously. But we've seen no evidence of galactic conflicts involving humans. That's what concerns me, sir. Either the humans have been fighting wars we don't know about, or they built this ship in preparation for wars that haven't started yet. Dr. Hana joined the conversation from her ship. Lieutenant Bo, could the humans have built this ship to defend against us? It's possible, Dr. Hana, if they viewed our approach as potentially hostile. This ship would be their answer to that threat. Commander Wu studied the tactical display. So we may be looking at a species that prepared for hostile first contact. Yes, sir. The humans appear to have assumed that any alien contact would be dangerous and built their technology accordingly. Computer. Commander Wu called out, Analysis. If humans view us as enemies, what are our options? Analysis complete. Recommended options? Immediate surrender or immediate retreat. Combat engagement not recommended due to overwhelming technological disadvantage. The Stark assessment hung in the air like a death sentence. They had come here as peaceful explorers and scientists. They had found a species that could destroy them without effort and had built the technology to do so. Sir, Bo said quietly, there's one more thing. The human scans of our ships were incredibly detailed, but they were also incredibly fast. If they can analyze our technology that quickly, they can probably analyze any technology that quickly. Meaning? Meaning. They may have already cataloged the capabilities of every species in the galaxy. They may know more about galactic military technology than we do. Commander Wu turned to look at the human ship again. A species that studies everyone but reveals nothing about themselves. Yes, sir. They've been watching and learning while we thought they were primitive. Now they know everything about us, and we know almost nothing about them except that they're far more dangerous than we ever imagined. The human ship hung in space like a dark reminder that the galaxy was not as safe or as well understood as they had believed. Somewhere aboard that massive vessel, humans were deciding whether the alien fleet represented friends or enemies. The aliens could only wait and hope that their peaceful intentions would be enough to satisfy a species that had prepared for galactic war. Admiral Kai stood before the main communications station on the bridge of the Eternal Vigilance and prepared to speak the first words from humanity to alien civilization. Behind him, dozens of officers waited in silence. In front of him, the alien fleet hung in space like a collection of curious children waiting for answers to questions they were afraid to ask. Open all communication channels, he ordered. Full spectrum broadcast on every frequency the aliens have been monitoring. Communications Officer Lee activated the systems. All channels open, sir. The alien fleet is receiving on all frequencies. Admiral. Kai had rehearsed this moment countless times, but now that it was here, the words felt heavier than he had expected. These would be the first official words between humanity and galactic civilization. History would remember whatever he said. Next. This is Admiral Kai of the Earth vessel Eternal Vigilance. Representing the United Earth Defense Force and the people of the planet Earth, we come in peace, but we are prepared for war. We hope to find friends among the stars, but we planned for enemies. He paused to let the translation systems work and to allow the aliens time to process his words. The message was deliberately dual in nature, an offer of friendship combined with a clear warning. We have received your cultural transmissions and appreciate your peaceful intentions. We have also completed our security assessment of your fleet. Capabilities. We understand that you come as explorers and scientists, and we respect your mission of discovery and knowledge. Admiral Kai walked closer to the communications station, knowing that visual communication was as important as his words. The aliens needed to see him as well as hear him. However, we must be clear about our position. Earth has spent 50 years preparing for this moment. We have built this ship and developed our capabilities based on the assumption that first contact might not be peaceful. We are relieved to discover that your intentions appear genuinely peaceful, but we remain prepared for any outcome. On the alien flagship, Communications Officer Dahl worked frantically at his translation station. The human words were being converted into galactic standard language, but some concepts were proving difficult to translate. "Commander," Dahl called out, "I'm having trouble with some of the human phrases. They're using words and concepts that don't have direct equivalents in our language." "What kind of concepts?" Commander Wu asked. "Words like prepared for war and planned for enemies translate correctly, but the humans are using them in connection with peace and friendship. It's like they're saying contradictory things at the same time." Dr. Hanna leaned over Dahl's shoulder to study the translation problems. "They're not being contradictory. They're explaining their philosophy. The humans believe that being prepared for war is necessary to maintain peace." "That doesn't make sense," Dahl protested. "It does if you're a species that expects hostile contact. They're telling us they want to be friends, but they're also warning us what will happen if we turn out to be enemies." Admiral Kai continued his transmission. "We have studied your transmissions and cultural exchanges. We see evidence of a galactic civilization based on cooperation, knowledge sharing, and peaceful exploration. This gives us hope that humanity can find its place among the stars as a trusted member of this community." He gestured toward the tactical display that showed both fleets. "At the same time, we must acknowledge the realities of our situation. Our ship represents humanity's determination to survive and protect our home world. We have capabilities that may seem extreme to a peaceful civilization, but they exist because we did not know what kind of galaxy we would find." "Sir," Communications Officer Lee reported, "we're receiving a response from the alien flagship. Put it through." "Commander." Wu's image appeared on the main screen. The alien leader looked nervous but was clearly trying to maintain diplomatic composure. "Admiral Kai, this is Commander Wu of the Galactic Research Council. We thank you for your direct communication and appreciate your honesty about your preparations." Admiral Kai studied the alien commander's face and body language. Everything suggested genuine, peaceful intentions combined with growing fear of humanity's capabilities. Commander Wu continued. "Admiral, we must ask, do you view our presence here as a threat to your world?" "No, Commander Wu. Our analysis of your fleet indicates scientific and exploratory purposes. Your ships are not equipped for military operations, and your positioning and behavior suggest peaceful intentions. Then why do you feel the need to demonstrate your military capabilities?" Admiral Kai considered his answer carefully. This was the crucial moment in first contact. His response would determine whether this encounter led to friendship or fear. "Commander, imagine that you lived alone on a small island and had never seen other people. One day you see ships approaching from across the ocean. You hope they bring friendship and trade, but you also know they might bring conquest and destruction. What would you do? I would prepare for both possibilities. Exactly. Earth is that island, and your fleet represents the first ships we have seen from across the ocean of space. We hope for friendship, but we prepared for conquest. The ship you see before you is our preparation. Dr. Hannah's voice joined the conversation from the twilight's edge. Admiral Kai, your ship represents remarkable technological advancement. May we ask how humanity developed such capabilities so quickly? Dr. Hannah, humanity has always been skilled at rapid technological development when we feel threatened. In our history, the greatest advances have come during times of conflict or preparation for conflict. When we realized we were not alone in the galaxy, every nation on Earth united to develop the technology necessary to survive. You united your entire planet for this purpose? Yes, Earth has never been more unified than during the last 50 years. The possibility of hostile alien contact ended all conflicts between human nations. We focused all our resources on preparing for this moment. Lieutenant Bio listened to the conversation from his intelligence station aboard the Harmonies. The human admiral's words explained much about what they had observed. Humanity had essentially militarized their entire civilization in preparation for alien contact. Admiral, Bo transmitted, are there other ships like yours? Admiral Kai smiled slightly. Lieutenant, the Eternal Vigilance is our first contact vessel. It was built specifically for this mission. As for other ships, well, we believed in being prepared. The implication was clear without being threatening. Humanity had built more than one massive warship. Earth was defended by technology that could challenge the entire galaxy. Communications Officer Dal continued working on translation problems. Many human concepts simply did not exist in galactic languages because galactic civilization had never needed them. Ideas like peace through strength and defensive preparation were foreign to species that had never encountered serious threats. Commander. Woo, Admiral Kai said, we want to make one thing absolutely clear. Humanity seeks peaceful relations with all galactic civilizations. We want to trade knowledge, share cultures, and learn from each other. But we also want it understood that Earth will defend itself if necessary. We understand, Admiral. Your position is reasonable, given your circumstances. We hope that this first contact will be the beginning of a long and beneficial relationship between humanity and galactic civilization. We have much to offer and much to learn, Admiral Kai gestured to his crew. We are prepared to begin formal diplomatic protocols whenever you are ready. We have cultural exchanges prepared, technological demonstrations available, and diplomatic teams standing by. Commander Wu looked relieved. We would be honored to begin formal first contact procedures. Admiral, excellent. But first, we believe a demonstration would be helpful to establish clear understanding of our capabilities and limitations. This will allow future relations to proceed without misunderstandings about what humanity can and cannot do. The alien fleet suddenly felt much less secure. A demonstration of human capabilities could mean anything from showing off their art and music to displaying their weapons. Given what they had already seen, the aliens suspected it would not be an art exhibition. Admiral Kai's first words had accomplished their purpose. Humanity had introduced itself to galactic civilization as a species that wanted peace but was prepared for war. The aliens now understood that they were dealing with something unprecedented, a peaceful species with the power to destroy them all. Admiral Kai walked to the weapons control station on the bridge of the Eternal Vigilance. The demonstration he was about to order would change everything about how the galaxy viewed humanity. It would also determine whether first contact led to lasting peace or permanent fear. Weapons Officer Park, prepare Demonstration Protocol 7. He commanded. Park looked up from her station with surprise. Sir, Protocol 7? Are you certain? I'm certain. We need to establish clear understanding of human capabilities. Half measures will only lead to dangerous miscalculations later. Park began activating systems that had never been used outside of testing. Sir, Protocol 7 will be visible across 3 star systems. Every civilization with advanced sensors will detect the energy discharge. Good, let them see what we choose not to use against peaceful species. Admiral Kai opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. Commander Wu, we are about to conduct a demonstration of human defensive capabilities. This demonstration is not directed at your fleet and poses no danger to your ships. However, we recommend moving to a safe distance of at least 5,000 kilometers. Commander Wu's image appeared on the communication screen. Admiral, what kind of demonstration? The kind that will prevent future misunderstandings about human limitations. Aboard the Harmony's call, Commander Wu quickly ordered the fleet to increase distance from the human ship. All vessels, immediate withdrawal to 5,000 kilometers. Emergency protocols in effect. Dr. Hannah watched from the bridge of the Twilight's Edge as their ships quickly moved away from the massive human vessel. Commander, what do you think they're going to show us? I don't know, Dr. Hannah, but given what we've already learned about their capabilities, I don't want to be close when they do it. The alien fleet repositioned itself at the recommended distance and activated all sensors. Whatever the humans were planning, they wanted to record every detail for analysis and reporting to the Galactic Council. Sir, Sensor Officer Myra reported. The human ship is maneuvering toward the dead moon at coordinates 774. Commander Wu studied the tactical display. The moon was approximately 2,000 kilometers from their position, a barren rock with no atmosphere or life. Why would they target the moon? Lieutenant Bio provided the answer from his intelligence. Station. Sir, I believe they're going to demonstrate their weapons capabilities without threatening any inhabited areas. Weapons capabilities on a planetary scale? That appears to be correct, sir. Aboard the Eternal Vigilance, Weapons Officer Park completed the targeting sequence. Sir, gravitational lance charged and ready. Target acquired. Dead moon designated Kepler 442 B-7. Admiral. Kai reviewed the demonstration parameters one final time. The gravitational lance was one of humanity's most advanced weapons, a device that could manipulate gravitational forces to devastating effect. It had never been fired at full power outside of computer simulations. All stations, prepare for gravitational lance discharge. Navigation, confirm we are at safe distance from target. Safe distance confirmed, sir. All ships in the area have withdrawn to recommended positions. Communications, notify the alien fleet that demonstration will commence in 60 seconds. Admiral Kai counted down the final seconds in his mind. This demonstration would either convince the aliens that humanity was too dangerous to trust, or it would convince them that humanity was too dangerous to threaten. He hoped for the latter. Fire. The gravitational lance activated with a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Space itself twisted around the Eternal Vigilance as the weapon manipulated fundamental forces of the universe. A beam of distorted gravity shot across the void toward the dead moon. When the gravitational lance struck its target, the moon simply stopped existing. The gravitational forces tore apart the moon's molecular structure, converting solid matter directly into energy. For a brief moment, a new star blazed in the void where the moon had been. The energy release was so intense that it could be seen with naked eyes from 3 star systems away. Aboard the alien fleet, every sensor overloaded. The energy readings were beyond anything their instruments could measure. Automatic safety systems? Shut down sensors to prevent permanent damage to the equipment. What just happened? Commander Wu demanded. Sensor Officer Mera worked frantically at her station. Sir, the moon is gone, completely gone. The humans converted it directly into energy. How much energy? Sir, the computer estimates the energy release at approximately 10 to the 23rd joules. That's more energy than our home star produces. In a year, the bridge fell silent as everyone absorbed what they had just witnessed. The humans had destroyed a moon knot with explosives or conventional weapons. But by manipulating the fundamental forces that held matter together, Dr. Hannah stared at the space where the moon had been. A few wisps of glowing gas were all that remained. They didn't just destroy it, they made it? Engineer Tay's voice was shaky as he reported from his station. Dr. Hana, I'm detecting residual gravitational distortions in the area. The weapon. The humans used manipulated space-time itself. That's impossible. Gravitational manipulation on that scale requires technology we thought was purely theoretical. Apparently not for humans. Lieutenant B.O. sat at his intelligence station and tried to comprehend what he had just seen. His job was to assess threats and analyze capabilities, but the human demonstration was beyond anything he had been trained to evaluate. Computer, threat assessment update based on observed weapons demonstration. Analysis impossible. Observed capabilities exceed all known parameters for threat evaluation. Human weapons technology appears capable of destroying planetary bodies and potentially disrupting stellar objects. Bo stared at the computer response. The humans had just demonstrated the ability to destroy moons and possibly even small planets. And they had done it casually, almost as an afterthought. Admiral Kai's voice came across the communication channels. Commander Wu, demonstration complete. As you can see, humanity possesses significant defensive capabilities. However, please note that this demonstration was conducted against an uninhabited target. We would never use such weapons against populated areas or inhabited worlds. Commander Wu struggled to find words. Admiral ... the weapon you just displayed is one of many defensive systems aboard this ship. We developed these capabilities because we did not know what kind of threats we might face in the galaxy. Now that we have met you and confirmed your peaceful intentions, we hope such weapons will never be needed again. Admiral, that weapon could ... it could destroy entire civilizations. Yes, Commander, it could. That is precisely why we built it. If any species attempted to destroy Earth, we wanted to ensure they would face consequences that would deter such actions. Dr. Hannah found her voice. Admiral Kai, how many ships like yours does Earth possess? Admiral Kai paused before answering. Dr. Hana, Earth's defense fleet consists of multiple vessels designed for different threats and scenarios. The Eternal. Vigilance is our first contact and diplomatic vessel. Our defensive capabilities extend far beyond what you have seen today. The implication was clear. The massive ship with moon-destroying weapons was just one part of Earth's military preparation. Humanity had built an entire fleet of such vessels. However, Admiral Kai continued, I want to emphasize that these weapons exist solely for defense. Humanity has no desire for conquest or expansion through force. We built these capabilities to ensure that we could never be conquered or forced into submission by hostile species. Weapons Officer Min aboard the alien flagship finally spoke what everyone was thinking. Admiral, you have built weapons that could threaten the entire galaxy. Officer Min, we have built weapons that could defend against the entire galaxy if necessary. There is an important difference. Defense requires preparation for any possible threat. Offense requires only the intention to harm others. Admiral Kai walked back to the center of the bridge. Commanders, we hope this demonstration clarifies humanity's position. We are peaceful by choice, not by necessity. We seek friendship and cooperation with all galactic civilizations. But we want it clearly understood that Earth cannot be threatened or intimidated by any force in the universe. The alien fleet remained silent as they absorbed the full implications of what they had witnessed. Humanity had introduced itself too. Galactic civilization by casually destroying a moon with a single weapon? The demonstration was not a threat, it was a promise. Peace was preferable, but humanity was prepared for any alternative. The new star created by the moon's destruction continued to shine in the void, a permanent reminder that the galaxy now contained a species capable of rewriting the laws of physics and backing up their diplomatic words with unimaginable force. 3 hours after the demonstration, the alien fleet had finally recovered enough to establish formal diplomatic contact. The glowing remnants of the destroyed moon served as a constant reminder of what they had witnessed, but the conversations that followed revealed something even more remarkable than humanity's weapons. Dr. Hana sat in the main conference room aboard the Twilight's Edge. participating in the galaxy's first formal diplomatic session with humanity. Admiral Kai's image filled the main screen, and his words were carefully translated into dozens of galactic languages for broadcast across known space. Dr. Hana, Admiral Kai said, you asked earlier about humanity's rapid technological development. I think it's important that you understand our history and why we built the capabilities you witness today. Please, Admiral, we are very interested in understanding your people. Admiral Kai gestured to someone off-screen, and the display changed to show images of Earth's history. Humanity has spent most of its existence fighting wars. Not because we enjoy conflict, but because we have never learned to live peacefully with those who are different from us. The images showed various human conflicts throughout history. Battles between nations, civil wars, religious conflicts, and territorial disputes. Dr. Hana watched with growing sadness as the pictures revealed a species that seemed incapable of peace. For thousands of years, we fought each other over land, resources, beliefs, and power. Our technology advanced rapidly during these conflicts because war demands innovation. We learned to fly, to communicate across vast distances, to harness atomic energy, and to travel to other planets, all because warfare pushed us to develop new capabilities. Commander Wu joined the conversation from the Harmony's call. Admiral, your species' history of conflict is extensive. How did you achieve unity? Commander, we achieved unity the same way we achieved everything else, through necessity. When we detected your signals and realized we were not alone in the universe, every human nation faced the same question: what if the aliens are hostile? Captain Sung appeared beside Admiral Kai on the screen. For the first time in human history, we had a potential enemy that threatened all of humanity equally. National boundaries and political differences became meaningless when faced with the possibility of alien invasion. Dr. Hana leaned forward. So you united your entire planet against a threat that might not have existed? Dr. Hana, we united our planet against a threat we hoped didn't exist, but couldn't afford to ignore. Human history taught us that hoping for peace while preparing for war was the only way to survive in a dangerous universe. Admiral Kai returned to the center of the screen. The irony is that building weapons capable of defending against any possible threat required cooperation on a scale humanity had never achieved before. We had to share technology, resources, and knowledge across all national boundaries. The most peaceful period in human history was when we were preparing for the possibility of galactic war. Lieutenant Bio listened from his intelligence station and began to understand something profound about human psychology. Admiral, are you saying that preparing for war actually made your species more peaceful? Exactly, Lieutenant. When every human understood that our survival might depend on working together, our ancient conflicts seemed petty and pointless. We couldn't afford to fight each other when we might need to defend our entire species. The translation systems struggled with human concepts that had no equivalent in galactic languages. Ideas like peace through strength and unity through shared danger were foreign to civilizations that had developed in relative safety. Engineer Tay asked the question that had been bothering him since the demonstration. Admiral Kai, your weapons are powerful enough to threaten entire civilizations. How do we know you won't use them for conquest? Admiral Kai's expression became serious. Engineer Tay, that is perhaps the most important question you could ask. The answer lies in understanding what those weapons cost us to build. Cost? Building the Eternal Vigilance and her sister ships required humanity to give up almost everything else. For 50 years, we invested every available resource in defensive preparations. We postponed exploration, delayed colonization, and sacrificed countless opportunities for peaceful development. Captain Sung added, the weapons you saw today represent decades of humanity's greatest minds, working together instead of competing against each other. We proved we could achieve remarkable things through cooperation, but only because we believed our survival was at stake. Dr. Hana began to see the deeper meaning. You're saying that conquest would undo everything you built your weapons to protect? Precisely. Dr. Hana, We built these capabilities to defend human civilization, not to destroy other civilizations. Using them for conquest would make us exactly the kind of species we prepared to defend against. Communications Officer Dahl had been analyzing human language patterns and cultural references in their transmissions. Admiral, your species seems to have a concept you call honor. Could you explain this? Admiral Kai smiled. Dahl, honor is the idea that how you achieve something is as important as what you achieve. Humanity spent 50 years proving we could work together and build remarkable things. Conquest would prove only that we could destroy things which we already knew. So your honor prevents you from using your superior capabilities against weaker species? Our honor demands that we use our capabilities to protect those who cannot protect themselves, not to dominate them. Commander Wu had been quiet for several minutes, processing everything he had learned about humanity. Admiral, what do you want from the galactic community? Commander, we want what we've always wanted. The chance to explore, to learn, and to grow. We want to share our knowledge and benefit from yours. We want to discover what's possible when different species work together instead of fearing each other. And if other species fear your capabilities, then we will prove through our actions that their fears are unfounded. The weapons you saw today will remain defensive tools. We will share our technology with peaceful species and protect them from any threats that might emerge. Sensor Officer Myra had been reviewing the technical data from the demonstration. Admiral, your gravitational manipulation technology could solve energy problems for countless civilizations. Will you share such advances? Officer Myra, we are prepared to share any technology that can benefit galactic civilization, provided it cannot be easily converted to weapons. Some advances we will keep secret for obvious reasons, but many others we offer freely to species that can use them responsibly. Dr. Hana felt a mixture of awe and relief. Humanity represented something unprecedented in galactic history, a species with overwhelming power that chose restraint, advanced technology that they were willing to share, and military capabilities designed for protection rather than conquest. Admiral Kai, she said, I believe this has been the most remarkable first contact in galactic history. Humanity brings both incredible opportunities and sobering reminders about the realities of an imperfect universe. Dr. Hana, we hope to learn that the universe is better than we feared and that our preparations will prove unnecessary. But if dangerous threats do exist, the galaxy now has species willing and able to stand against them. The formal diplomatic session concluded with agreements for cultural exchange, technology sharing, and mutual defense cooperation. But the most important outcome was understanding. The galaxy had gained a protector that asked for nothing except the chance to explore and learn alongside peaceful civilizations. As the alien fleet prepared to depart and carry news of humanity back to the Galactic Council, they carried with them a new appreciation for the complexity of survival in an uncertain universe. Humanity had taught them that sometimes the greatest peace came from the greatest preparation for war, and that the most dangerous species could also be the most trustworthy allies. The eternal vigilance remained at the edge of the Kepler 442 system, no longer humanity's secret weapon, but its introduction to a galaxy that would never again doubt Earth's determination to defend itself and its friends. The age of human isolation was over, and the age of humanity among the stars had begun.